Hi, my name is Tim and I'm forgiven. In the last video I talked about disdain and I directed it mostly toward the president. And I think what we need to understand as we're approaching elections, and really we need to approach every day like the election is tomorrow. We need to stay on top of it daily. Disdain, I think that all of our elected politicians get this aura of disdain about them, you know, where they feel like they know better, they are better, and that they should be and would be. You know, it's kind of like the king, and he inherited his thrones because he's of royalty, you know. And this is a very dangerous kind of personality to have to deal with. This is where I come up with my whole objective. And Tim, that's my name, Tim D, no incumbent. Now, I have every intention to not vote for any incumbent. I don't know of a single incumbent that I can vote for that I'm interested in voting for. Now, I don't mean that we need to have term limits. It's term limits is not a fix. Term limits is an incorrect way to fix the problem. I think that the problem can be fixed by voting responsibility. And we have a responsibility to vote, and we have a responsibility to vote for somebody who is responsible. And it may be an incumbent. But if it's not an incumbent, and we vote for the incumbent merely for the incumbent's sake or for our state, whatever our reasoning is, then we've made a drastic mistake and we've caused great harm to be done. We've had a lot of repeat politicians, repeat offenders. When they get so much power and they've been there for so long, and you know, we've all said that politicians are crooked. Everybody thinks that. Everyone you talk to would tell you that politicians are crooked. And the only way we can weed this out is by constant rotation. They think they know better. They think they know what we need. They think they know what we want. You may say you don't want that sidewalk, but we know you do. You really appreciate it once they're there. You just don't like that little, having to pay that extra taxes. But it'll be over and you'll like it and you'll thank us. That's a horrible thought. This disdain about knowing how we're going to come out of it. When we say we don't want higher taxes, what we really mean is we want what you're going to do with that tax money. Please don't make it too painful. Please keep us in mind. And it's ridiculous. Now, I don't know how to motivate people to get involved within politics to become politicians, because I think that it almost has to be in your heart, and that's the poison of it all. People don't want to be involved, and I don't blame them. I don't want to be involved. But if people don't start running for these positions who have the public interest at heart, that have their grandkids at heart, that have the future of America at heart, we're going to be in serious trouble. And we're in deep. You got to understand, we're in deep. We're in deep. And we need to flesh out the people who look at the general population with disdain. When we look at a company, I mean, when I went down to buy this computer, I didn't look into HP and see what kind of people run the company, and you know, I didn't look in for the details of the way the organization works. I looked at their product and I seen that it fit my needs, and it was a very good product for the price. Seemed to be, and that's the way I made my judgment. Now I have to trust that the people at HP are good people, that they reward their employees, they serve their customers, and that they're good in the community that they're in, that they bless people and not curse people. And I think that, as a rule of thumb, if we don't look at people that way, that we will isolate ourselves. When we look at everybody as though they're horrible, awful, selfish, degenerates, we're going to end up in a closet by ourselves. We hold this mirror out, and instead of looking in it, it's turned and it's facing everybody else, saying, look at you, look at you, look, 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 look. And the really scary part is that mirror from this side, it's like a two-way mirror, but instead of seeing through it, it's like a magnifying glass. So when you stick this mirror out in front of you, it is a magnifying glass to you. So you look at every single little thing and you cuss and curse people about all the horrible things. You see somebody with a fat wallet. Ooh! You see somebody with a nice car. You see somebody with a beautiful home. And you don't take into heart any of the details of their lives. The years of hard work and devotion. You know I could be more successful by applying myself more, by working longer, working harder. If I applied myself more, I would make more money. I could get a second job and work 16 hours a day, and I'd make a lot more money than I make. If I do that, and I have a brand new car every year, and people look at me and say, oh, he's horrible. He works 16 hours a day. Is that what they're going to say? No. They're just going to say, who'd he screw? And I'm sorry that we do that. I'm sorry that we do that. And the guy makes millions. He makes millions. You know, we act like there's some sort of evilness about a guy making $5, 10, or $15 million. I'm poor. I'm nowhere near that. I love these guys that do that, because if they sit on their hoards of money, they said, you know, I've earned mine, and they stick it away in the corner, and they live off of it, everyone will suffer because of it. It is the people that have built wealth, that can build wealth, that obtain wealth, that invested in business, in things to better our lives. Cars, computers, cell phones, cameras. These things are they're not produced by the poor. Companies are not started by the broke. And there's no reason for a company to start to not make money. There's no reason to invest money to come out even. There's no reason to invest money to do you good alone. We can't look at these people as though they're the pit of the world. And we need to start looking at the true pit of the world. And they're involved in politics for a lifelong re-election in the middle of politics. How could it be so important to be involved all that time? How do these people build so much wealth being involved in public service? What an oxymoron. What an oxymoron. Public service. If they're not in the private sector, if they've never been in the private sector, how do they have massive wealth? Mr. President. Maybe, like some of the people in the, Mrs. Pelosi, maybe you married into it. Maybe you married a man who knows how to make it. And that's your answer. No incumbents. Please, everybody. Start talking. We got to make a noise. God bless.